4 Golden Nuggets is an interview show where I ask 4 questions to highly motivated, focused, and successful people to get 4 nuggets and 4 pieces of advice that I can then share with people on social media. So today I've got someone that I've been meaning to interview for a long time now. His name is Eddie Pinero. He runs a very popular channel on YouTube called YourWorldWithin. Does a lot of great videos on running, on motivation, on focus, on persistence, and on hard work ethic. And he has 86,000 subscribers and 11 million views. And Eddie's going to be on the show today talking about if there was a turning point in his background when he first became motivated, his advice to up-and-coming YouTubers on how to build a strong following online, his advice to the person who's stuck at a dead-end job on how to find passion and how to find a purpose, what the daily rituals and practices and habits that he does on a regular basis to keep himself pumped. And if today was his last day, Eddie's going to talk about what his last message to the world would be on his very last day. He's one of the top motivators out there, so make sure you watch this episode.
I won't stop, hustle won't quit, shine like no other, I be on some rush. I got a high price lifestyle, super bad, if I want it, bet I got it. If I don't bet, all I gotta do is go stay about my business, ball till I fall, lost until I finish. I just go stay about my business. I live in jet to kill it, stacking million to the ceiling. I just go now just go.
So I want to welcome Eddie Pinero to the show. Eddie is someone I've wanted to interview for a while. He's got a big following on YouTube at YourWorldWithin. He's got 11 million views and 86,000 subscribers. One of the top motivators in the world. And he's an author, speaker, and YouTuber. And welcome to the show, man. Pleasure to have you.
Appreciate it, Bo. Thanks for having me.
So the first question I want to ask you is, you've been doing this for 2 years now on YouTube. So is there like a turning point in your background when you really became more of a motivated person, or were you sort of always this way?
I think I've always been motivated in the sense that when I love what I'm doing, I'm all about it. It's kind of like a 0 or 100 type thing. So if I'm, into something, love something, I want to do it. That's my day. And that's really all I think about. Whereas if it's something that I'm not, crazy about, it's a little bit harder, which is why this process has been so important, right? Because when you line up what you like to do, it sort of creates that motivation for you. I always say that the term motivation is sometimes misused.
Absolutely.
Because if I was going to be a professional dog walker and I had to get motivated for that every day, like that doesn't drive me, right? No videos or seminars or any of that stuff could make me excited to do that. So that's why doing what you do is so important, or loving what you do.
Yeah, so the passion really fueled your ability to do everything you've done.
Absolutely. Identifying what I love and making a brand and a company out of that.
So I know like motivate or staying like pumped or staying focused or working hard is a lot about like having the right habits that you do every day. So do you have any like habits or rituals that you do every day that keep you pumped?
The morning for me is everything, right? So I always feel like when the alarm,
waking up early?
Yeah, when it goes off at 4:30 or 5, that's your first battle, right? And if you get out of bed and you're focused, and you're ahead of the world at that point. So yeah, and no one's up, it's quiet time, read a book, dive into your first project of the day. Like that to me is my ritual.
So you start the day off right and then everything else kind of falls into place.
Yes, exactly.
So you've been able to motivate like lots and lots of people online, millions of people at this point. So do you have any advice for like the up and coming YouTuber on good ways to really put themselves out there and grow their following a lot online?
Yeah, so for me, I get this question a lot. So I think it boils down to 2 things. The first thing is value, which should be the most obvious, but it's always the most overlooked. You have to think about it in terms of what your audience wants. And if you were watching your own video, what would you want to see? So that's the first thing. The second thing is patience. I just think it's sort of the direction that a lot of our social outlets go, the media go. If you look up how to build an Instagram or YouTube channel, the first things that come up are how to make money on YouTube, how to make money on Instagram, and that's all fine and dandy.
Shortcuts to
exactly. Like I would think long term. I would think brand. I would think creating a foundation and network of people that want your stuff, and then you monetize, right? So you got to think long term with YouTube.
So focus in on value and thinking like, if I was watching my video, what would I want to see? And staying patient, thinking long term.
Sums it up.
Good stuff. So a lot of people that like watch this content online, they might be like, I read an article, 70% of people are doing jobs that they're not engaged by or that they don't like. So a lot of people are stuck at those dead-end jobs. So like, what would your advice be for someone who's stuck in a position like that on how to find passion or purpose?
Yeah. Yeah, I think to stop and think. We take life way too serious in the sense that we think things are black and white. We think there's a step that we have to take. We get worried when we feel like someone's getting ahead of us. None of that matters, right? It's just try different things. Be creative. Don't be afraid to fail. Explore, experiment, adventure. See what makes you tick, and then go down that road. I think that's what a lot of people miss. If you're at a dead-end job and you don't like it, I mean, that's a red flag, right? So change. And that's a conversation you have to have with yourself.
I love it, man. So that was 4 nuggets. I got one bonus question for you. I'm going to switch it up right now.
All right.
If today was your very last day on Earth, God forbid, what would your message out to the world, like your last piece of advice be?
To be unapologetically yourself. And, I think there's a lot of stuff out there. There are a lot of resources now, right? And we look to a lot of successful people, see how they've done things, see what they say, what they do. And that's great, but a lot of times it diverts like who we are. And that is the most important thing. Your business, your network, all of that stuff comes from what makes you happy and what you feel grounded doing. So keep that in mind. Always be yourself with whatever you're doing.
Be unapologetically yourself. I love it, man.
All right, brother.
Thanks for being on the show.
You got it. Thanks for having me.
Go.